Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm an SEO content strategist, and I would give Frase a 4 out of 5 star review. For more reviews, click below. Before using Frase, it was a lot of manual processes, a lot of team members doing research, and me having to get involved really because I had to steer them in the right direction. And so by using tools like Frase, I was able to get away from a lot of manual processes and a lot of really like human hours of time and even my own time as the founder of my company. And really, I think one of the strengths of Frase it for a company like mine that focuses on SEO is that it gives you a really nice picture of the search landscape for whatever given term that you're trying to optimize to rank in relevant search, or really even beyond the SEO side of things, just the topics that you're wanting to write about and understanding what's already been said about them. So using Frase has been great because it takes a lot of that manual process out, a lot of me being involved in giving direction, and it now empowers my team to create reports for different topics whenever they have new ideas without having to go through me or anybody else. I initially chose Frase first and foremost because I got a special deal on it, and I'm the type of person who likes to try a lot of different tools. I like to compare the differences between them to understand what's really the best tool for the job. And so, really, what sparked me to choose Frase was because I had the special deal to get it, but I would still use it today. I'm just grateful that I got the deal when I got it. And in terms of deciding to make that purchase decision, to some extent, it was comparing Frase in sort of the landing page of where I saw this deal. I was comparing Frase to other tools that I was familiar with, and I was curious to see how it stacked up. It was also just being able to see the tool in action to sort of demo what it looks like to generate a report, see what the results are, other features of their content editor, which allows you to compare, say, for example, a content brief versus the research versus your first draft, and maybe any other supplemental pieces of content that you would review as part of using Frase to create new content. Um, to some extent, it was seeing what the founders were doing, being really excited about what was on their planned product updates for the year, just seeing what plans they had to grow it from that initial point. And I think that Frase has consistently delivered on their promises, their roadmap. So really nothing has changed for me since that initial purchase decision. I've only been more and more happy with the decision to use Frase. So I think Frase is a fairly frictionless user experience in describing their different features, looking at the user interface. Everything's pretty clearly labeled. Generating a report is really simple. I think with any content optimization tool, you of course have to consider whatever plan you're on. The plan that I'm on is unlimited documents, so I don't think a lot before I generate a Frase report. But with some of the other content optimization tools that I do use, it's a matter of really deciding what keyword we want to go after, what very specific topic we want to go after before generating a report. Because with some of the other tools out there, it's a credit. Every credit has an associated price. And so I don't want to waste the credits. But what's great about Frase, and I would say especially the level of plan that I'm on, is that I don't have to think so hard about that. I can explore topics without worrying about a credit getting in the way or going to waste because I'm not going to use it. So I think that's something that I don't necessarily see with all the content optimization tools, even a level of a plan that has unlimited offerings. And I think that is something that's really cool about Frase. But other than that, training my team to use Frase it's probably one of the easiest trainings I've done, and it doesn't even really need to exist because most people can figure it out even before consulting any of the resources that I've put together for my team or for clients even to understand what the reports mean. My advice for those considering Frase is to understand the full landscape of similar content optimization tools And it really depends on if you have a budget for multiple tools, then I think Frase should be one of them. If you have a budget for one tool, my recommendation would be ClearScope, just because it does a lot of the same things that Frase does. And I think for our team, how we use both tools in tandem is more using Frase on the front end to create a research report, a little bit of a topic brief, and then using ClearScope on the back end to make sure that we've weaved in all relevant keywords to be able to see again what the search landscape is, comparing to the data that's out there. We've found on my team that ClearScope reports, as far as things like word count and making a suggestion for what you should aim for based on what's already ranking, the ClearScope data relies on the median of whatever articles they consider in the report versus Frase takes the average. And so the median situation is better for sussing out outliers and not letting that affect how we approach word count with content. So that's a very specific thing to consider. But again, we use both tools, so I'm not saying one's necessarily better than the other. I would just say that if budget was limited, I might go with something more like ClearScope. But with an unlimited Frase plan, I think you can also do a lot with that too. So it's a matter of what sort of strengths your team has and where you might need a little bit of robot power to supplement the rest.